Victor is on Twitter. You can follow me there if you dare, at Dave Ramsey. About 734,000 of you do, give or take. And sometimes some of you are mad, but that's okay. That's part of how life works. And it's part of the beauty of Twitter. It allows some of you to have courage where otherwise you would not have any. So that digital courage is magical fairy dust, I'll just tell you. Anyway, Victor says he's not being smart. He has a legitimate question, I think, sort of. How would you respond to someone that said the economy would suffer if everyone was smart with money? I would try not to hang out with them. They're a fool. They have a worldview that says that the only way that people win with money is to do harm to someone. That's what that presupposition is. In other words, if everyone was smart with money, then no one would prosper, is what that fool is saying. They're a fool. By a fool, I mean a biblical definition of a fool, which is a fool, by the way. So what am I saying? I'm saying the economy prospers more when people are smart with money than when they are dumb with money. And so the smarter we were with money, the more the economy would grow. Because guess what causes the economy to grow? People being wealthy versus people being poor. What causes you to be wealthy? Being smart with money. If you're smart with money, you become wealthy. If more people were smarter with money, more people would be wealthy and the economy would grow more. Wealthy people spend more and do more in the economy than poor people do in terms of the actual numbers of dollars that are moved around. And so the smarter we all are with our money, the better it is for the economy. So the presupposition of the person's question, in other words, is that the only way that people win with money is if they do harm to someone. And that's someone that doesn't know how life works, and it wouldn't be someone I'd want to hang around with much. Rabbi Daniel Lapin wrote the book, Thou Shalt Prosper. It's a great book about why Jewish people have a tendency to prosper. And one of the things he talks about it there is that when you do good for others in the marketplace, they give you certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them. Oh, only jerks and crooks succeed. No. Statistically, it's not true. Plus, common sense, if you have any, would tell you that. Common sense isn't common anymore. That's why we have this show. So, here's how it works. Let's think about it. Joe owns a car repair place, and Joe rips you off. You go in to get your car fixed, and he screws you over. So, are you going to go back to Joe? No. Not unless you're an idiot. Are you going to tell all your friends not to go to Joe? Yes. Joe will not succeed. Why? Because Joe is a crook, and the word gets out on a crook. Oh, occasionally they find new bait for their little trap, but by and large, their old customers don't come back, and they don't send their friends, which is where most customers come from, by the way, in business. Most of you found this show or bought one of my books or went to one of our classes or one of our events because a friend told you it was good, not because your friend told you I was a crook. Oh, Joe says he's a crook. Let's go to Dave's thing. No, that's not how that works, right? So if you go get your car fixed and Joe does a good job, he's kind to you and, makes a profit on the transaction but treats you fairly, and you feel like you got a good deal when your car got repaired because it was actually freaking repaired, then what do? Next time your car breaks, you go back to Joe. Oh, and what do you do when your friend says, oh, my car broke, do you know anybody? You say, hey, Joe's trustworthy, go see Joe. You go to a restaurant, the restaurant sucks. Do you tell your friends, go over there and eat, you'll get food poisoning? No, you don't do that. You tell your friends to stay away from the place. It's a dump. It's a dive. It's bad news. The service is horrible. How many times have you told your friends not to go see a movie, not to read a book, not to do business at such and such a company because they mistreated you? And how many times do you not go back? The only reason you would go back is if you're psychologically damaged. Why would you go back? You don't go back. And so good people that do good work are the ones that prosper, stupid. The crooks don't prosper. They don't. All they do on the short term, and occasionally you hear them in the news, they rip somebody off and they make the news or whatever. But by and large, over the scope of our economy, the people that prosper are the ones that serve and that do good things for people. This is why we should not vilify wealthy people. 88% of America's millionaires are first-generation rich. They started with nothing. They served someone. They helped someone in some way, and they helped a whole bunch of people over a long period of time. Thus, they became wealthy starting from nothing. That's called being successful. We should teach our children to serve people and help people and do it in mass. And the blessings are you get certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them. If you work in a fine restaurant with a white tablecloth and you serve someone, what do you get? A tip. A nice tip. That's how that works, isn't it? Do you feel bad if you leave someone a tip towards that person? No, they didn't rip you off. They served you. You gladly share some of your money to share your appreciation with them. That's profit. That's how profit works. So let's go back to the question. How do you respond to someone that said that the economy would suffer if everyone was smart with money? If you're smart with money, you get out of debt. Thus, you have more money to give and more money to save. And if you're out of debt and on a plan and you're smart with money and you avoid rip-off bad products like credit cards and whole life policies and car leases, and you get to keep more of your money because you're smart with money, do you think that if everybody did that, that they would not function in the economy? No, there's nothing about being smart with money that causes you to be a hermit. I spend more money now. I spend more money on a trip now than I used to make in a year. So, I mean, I don't spend less money because I became wealthy. I spend more money because I became wealthy. I'm not irresponsible or flashy or anything else. Some say I am, but I definitely don't dress flashy. Sharon tells me that every morning. So, but, you know, the deal is you just have to understand how wealth really works and how it is interwoven into the economy, and then you realize how victim-based and this, you know, I grew up with people like this. They said stuff like, little man can't get ahead. Whoa, the little man can't get ahead. We got to have somebody fix my life because I can't fix my own life. The little man can't get ahead. This guy's got the spirit of Eeyore. It's his spirit animal, Eeyore. The little man can't get ahead is a bunch of political crap. Little man can't get ahead because you got it between your two stinking ears that said you can't get ahead. Oh, I can't get ahead. I grew up redneck hillbilly. Shut up. And I've been a millionaire twice. I'm so dumb I had to do it twice. Don't tell me it can't be done. Of course it can be done. Of course it can be done. I don't care what your sex is, what your race is, what your background is. Some of us have more to overcome than others. Some of us are smarter than others. A lot of people smarter than me. My GPA will prove that. But I outwork a bunch of them. So that'll fix that. And by the way, work's a choice. It's a choice. It's a surefire money-making scheme. So how do I respond to someone that says the economy would suffer if everyone was smart with money? I probably wouldn't. I would probably just put a label across their forehead that said fool, and I'd probably just not spend a lot of time with them. Because if you hang out with fools, you know what you become? Just like them. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. And so you have to break the cycle. You have to flip this thing on its head and make it behave. You've got to get so fired up and wired up that your broke friends think you've lost your mind.